Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Method in Madness. I'm your host, Vaishali Chakravarty, and today we come one full circle, one full year. We started Method in Madness in 2020 on April the 2nd, and today it's April the 3rd. So we have completed one whole year today. So happy birthday to all of us and all of you who are watching us. April also happens to be World Autism Awareness Month. And yesterday was World Autism Awareness Day. I have somebody who has autism, is in the spectrum, and I love him to the bits. Today we are going to talk about autism and how drama can come to rescue us. We are going to talk about autism, drama, and drama therapy with the pioneer of therapeutic work using drama and theatre in India, Professor Parasuram Ramamurthi. Professor Ramamurthi is one of the pioneers in the field of applied drama. He has been working in the field of arts for autism since 2003 and has conducted workshops on drama for autism across the world. He has authored several published essays and video training modules on the subject. He has appeared on several television shows and advocated for early interventions in autism. He has been a speaker at major events on the subject in India and across the world. He has also authored his book, Artability, which we are going to talk about in our discussion today. Welcome, Doctor.
Thank you, Vaishali. I'm very happy to be here. Method in Madness is something I love because I have a madness, craziness, and I see also a method in it. So very happy to be here.
And we're privileged to have you with us, sir.
Thank you.
Just to let everybody know who's watching us, we are going to talk, Professor Ramamurthi and I are going to talk for the next 45 minutes, and then we'll open the discussion out and we'll ask you to ask questions. Please be with us, please join us during the conversation, and please feel free to communicate any idea, any thought that comes to your mind with respect to autism and children. To begin with, I'll call you Ram, as you
that's the best thing.
Yes. Ram, I have been your half-hearted student in Delhi, but I must tell you that I have read everything that you used to send us as students, and unfortunately we did not get students to work on. I did not get students to work with. Now, there's a stigma around not just accepting the fact that the child, your friend's child, or your neighbor's child, or your own child is in the spectrum. But there is also a stigma to approach different therapies or new ideas of therapy that is coming in. Can you talk about a little bit about stigmas of various kinds regarding autism?
Good. In a family of just a man and his wife and a child, acceptance does not come very easily for both the man and the woman. They begin to say, no, it could be something else. You had a speech delay in your childhood, so this may be another speech delay, and could be. very easily people do not accept the diagnosis. And in the early 80s, especially in India, there were very few diagnoses. People did not go for a diagnosis. And even in the beginning of this century, people went for diagnosis at the age of 5, 6, or 7. But today we are in a better position. Diagnosis is possible between 12 and 18 months. The reason people feared was that the diagnosis comes with a sticker, a label, autistic, dyslexic. I think what we should, as teachers, as therapists, as parents, need to know is that a child is a child. There are no labels. And I don't like this idea of somebody saying children with autism do not come with a manual, as though they are a product, as though they are a machine. I remember very well a saying by Osho, which later J.K. also followed. This idea of my son, my daughter is very silly. It so happens this human being chooses to come into life through you.
Khalil Gibran also talks about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
How difficult it is to accept this, I understand. I understand perfectly. It's very difficult to accept this idea. But if you accept this idea, then quite a lot of the problems will disappear. The early diagnosis helps you to know, yes, my son is different. My daughter is different. And this ratio of more boys having it, less girls having, I think it is because in many cultures, the girl child never went for a diagnosis. Only now, girl children are. So the ratio seems to be a bit weird. But when I know, now look at your own family. And we are 5 brothers and 4 sisters. My father recognized that each of these guys are different. Each of these girls are different. And allowed that difference to be there. If all the 5 fingers are the same in size, length, then it will not be a hand. It will be a wooden stick. So each one of us is different from other, different in taste, different in outlook. Even now, people keep asking me, why did you leave Madurai and go to a remote village in Karnataka? I liked it. I loved the trees. In Madurai, the blaring of speakers will wake me up in the morning. But here, the birds wake me up. The chirping of the birds wake me up. I'm an early riser. I have my coffee, first coffee, probably at 4:45, 5 in the morning. And there's nothing like sipping coffee and listening to the birds. Now, this may be crazy to somebody. They may say, oh, he doesn't look normal. He's this normality is a misnomer. By certain standards, at the age of 5, children have to do this. If they are not doing that, then people say maybe not normal. So my first suggestion, request to the parents is give your children the freedom to grow as they would like to grow. Help them. I have a volume of poetry called Neem Gita, like Bhagavad Gita, Neem Gita. I used to wonder at the neem tree. Nobody plants them, they grow.
Yes, true.
They grow and they do not compare themselves with the coconut tree or the banyan tree. So they are happy being a neem tree. Now let us give our children that joy of being himself, herself. If that can help them, good. As a young boy, I used to enter the kitchen. My mother will be working. She used to say, no, no, don't come here. She would not allow me to come into the kitchen because boys were not allowed to work in the kitchen.
Mm.
Whereas my sisters will be working. Later, I found that very silly. I was a good pal with my sister, and she used to grind for idli and dosa. I used to sit with her and hold the grinder and grind with her. So my early years were filled with certain mad ideas, mad ideas. And those mad ideas really helped me to grow. So let's have a diagnosis. Let us know, but let us not use a sticker. I have never felt that a child is autistic. I never referred to a child as a child with autism or autistic child.
Right. How early should we go in for a diagnosis in that case?
Now you can go in anytime from 15 to 18 months or 24 months. You can, if you feel your child is different, behaving differently, then you can go in and go to the right places. There are excellent centers in India like CMC Vellore, Nimhans Bangalore, and Ames Delhi, where you have a thorough, it's not somebody comes and sits with me for talking for 20 minutes or 30 minutes and then I send him out, you're autistic. That should not be the case. In fact, now most psychiatrists and psychologists are recommending that they need to spend time with the child almost on a weekly basis for an hour at least. And after that only they declare that there is a problem.
Okay. All right. Thank you for that little recommendation that you gave in. Let's talk about drama now. Tell us your why did you choose drama or theater as a tool to work with children with disabilities, intellectual disabilities?
Right. I often keep repeating this. I think probably I would have repeated 5,000 times in my life. Drama is connecting. Connecting you with your body. Connecting you with the space. Connecting you with an audience. Connecting you with the props. Connecting you with the setting. This is the main thing which brought me into drama for autism. I connect with my body, head to toe. Most of these children have a poor awareness of their body. And that is one reason why they are doing certain things which we call it as behavioral issues. The behavioral issues that you talk about are actually the behavior of the child not connecting with the body.
Right.
And you call him by name, and Krishna, Mukunda, he doesn't respond. Not that he does not hear that. He does not want to respond to that because he is not connecting with you. He doesn't know where he is. He just comes into the drawing room, opens his trousers and pees in the drawing room. Why? He is not connected with the space. He doesn't know there are people sitting in the drawing room, uncles, aunties, friends, and others. He is not connected with them. So I thought drama should start with a child connecting with his body and then connecting with the space and then connecting with the people and then connecting with the various things in the drawing room or at home. So this is my first suggestion for parents, that your child, whatever he has, let him know that he has a body. The body is from head to toe. And let him connect with the body. So my definition of drama is connecting with your body, people, space, and the environment. So this is the reason I thought drama for autism is very important.
So you have been practicing this since 1976, if I am not wrong.
1976 and all, I was mainly into mainstream theater, writing plays, directing plays, producing Macbeth, Othello, Hayavadana, Nagamandala, like that. But 2003, I switched gears and changed my track. I started practicing drama for autism. Thereafter, I never went back into mainstream theater. After that, it has been a journey only with autism and drama and other disabilities.
Okay.
So the reason I took that change was that, yes, there are great playwrights, great directors. Girish Karnad was one of my close friends, and they're doing good work. They are very happy doing it. I wanted to do something different. I wanted to see how this theater can change some of these. And there were also people doing applied theater, but none took the problem of autism and mental health so seriously that drama could change their lives. Nobody thought about that. And so I stepped in.
And we are glad you did, sir.
I'm very happy I did.
I always wonder what is the difference for anybody who is new to drama as therapy or drama as a therapeutic tool. How similar or different is it from the regular occupational OT that we get to see, which usually children in the spectrum are given? So how is it different? Are they similar? Do we use similar techniques that we use in occupational therapy, in drama therapy, or how are they different?
That is the predominant thing. Angikam.
Sorry, I didn't get you there. I think I lost your word.
Angikam. Angikam bhuvanam. The rest is pushed to the background. Vachikam is almost at the end. Vachikam is the word. What the occupational therapist does is Angikam. That is important. How much important and with what knowledge he does is very important. So, I think I have had many students who are occupational therapists and physiotherapists, and they all have been using this drama in their occupational therapy settings very efficiently in very
I think we have lost Professor Ramamurthy. Uh, we are in conversation, yeah, with Professor Parasuram Ramamurthy, and he's back. All right. Yes.
so the occupational therapist has a very major role to play. In fact, even as one ages and becomes almost invalid like, the occupational therapist has a very serious role to play. So, occupational therapist is the first therapist I would recommend to any child who has been diagnosed with autism. And if that occupational therapist is good, clever, intelligent, he'll be using many of the drama methods in his work.
And what is the most powerful technique that you have discovered in your area of work, Ram?
Right. There was a time when they used to call me the mask man. And all my studies, research, and talking to people revealed one thing, that children with autism do not have eye contact. And there were even questions like, why should they have eye contact? The eyes are the tool of communication. You see. Like, for instance, normal life, you are walking along, there are so many people passing by, not that everyone you look at, but some people you just have a look at and you smile. You don't say anything. You smile and pass by that man. Your eyes have communicated to that person, look, you are good. You are a happy man.
Hmm.
That communication is the first tool of communication. I've seen in many cases, children have not seen the face of the mother.
Okay.
Children have not seen the face of the father. I thought there must be something which we can do about it.
Mhm.
And I used the traditional Indian theater mask that we use in Yakshagana, Tirukuttu, Kathakali, and other things.
Mhm.
Now, why this mask? Will it not become a crutch? No, it will not become a crutch if you use it rightly. The mask cuts down your peripheral visions.
Right.
Mask helps you to focus only through those two holes meant for the eye. And if the object before you or the person before you is as interesting as, then communication happens. If my mother's face is very beautiful, I would love to touch it. If my mother sings very beautifully, sitting with me, I would love to listen to that.
Correct.
And if my name is Krishna, and if she is singing, Krishna Nibekane Paro. So what is my response? I'm responding. Now, do not treat this as a treatment. This is a game of fun. The child enjoys this game. He may not enjoy the first few days, but after that he may start enjoying. And there is another way to do that also. There are 4 people at home. All the 4 people wear a mask. So the child is not different now. All of them are wearing a mask. So communication happens. Eye contact happens. Listening to stories happen. Singing songs happen. Dancing happen. Jumping around happen. All that the child has been missing until we introduce that mask. But all said and done, a mask is a foreign object. Some children are so sensitive to, say, rubber or plastic or anything, they refuse to wear. In our study, we found at least 3 or 4 children out of 10 children reject the mask. So I had to think about it. If they are refusing the mask, what should I do? How do I help them? Then I went into the Kathakali face mask. You know the tradition of Kathakali mask. The actor lies down. There is a makeup artist who does his face and body. There is an excellent bonding between this makeup artist and the actor. That bonding should happen between you and your child. So I started using. First, I used only very indigenous material like the basin powder, turmeric, yogurt, and carrot pulp, beetroot pulp, and told parents that very easy. You are complaining that your son is not eating anything. There is a gut issue there. We'll push that discussion later. But if your son is eating the carrot pulp, fine. If he's eating the yogurt, fine. If he is eating the basin laudanum mixed with curd, fine. So that I used. And this is very, very nice and interesting. I wish as a child I had this. Now, but as a child, we used to have, say, for instance, on certain days, we
Okay.
used to have the oil bath.
Okay.
The oil is slightly warmed up, and probably my mother or my grandfather would apply the oil on my body and head
Mm,
and start. That experience, more than the oil, the touch, the
mm,
tactile sense. I think today people are spending thousands of rupees going to parlors, doing facial and things like that. I
mm.
wish you could get that facial at home. Need not be professional, but that sense of touch. I'm touching you here. I'm
Mm,
touching you here. I'm touching you in this point and this point,
mm.
like this. I'm touching you here. I'm touching here. I'm touching here. I'm touching here. I'm touching here. I'm touching
Yeah.
here. Now, if the mask brought about eye contact and focusing and concentration, the face mask brought greater focus, greater concentration. That is the level of a child's ability to sit down and listen to something increased from 1 to 15 minutes. I think that's the maximum you can achieve. See, all our classroom lectures and all these things go up to 40 minutes. But
Mm.
our ability to focus and concentrate and grasp things, I think, happens only in the 15 minutes.
Yes. True.
So, this face mask, which Kathakali artists gave me, I have used it for children with autism. And they are very happy. They enjoy that. And I remember even a child, when we were doing that, when I asked the child to do it on the mother's face, the child, the first time in her life, she speaks. Amma
Okay.
bindi enge. That
Mm,
is, where is your bindi?
mm,
So she is not speechless. She has been having speech, but not found the right time to talk to you.
mm.
And nearly a 20-year young man telling his mom, I think it was somewhere in New Jersey or somewhere, I don't remember. There are so many stories that I don't remember where it happened, when it happened. He was telling 20 years he has not. He looked at his mom and said, Mom, you need a haircut. Mom, you need a haircut. And the woman started crying, and said, he has never looked at my face. He has never talked about anything like this. And he wants me to. And I think that is the happy moment when your therapy works. I think therapy, people are using it in Now, hydrotherapy, anything is therapy, aquatic therapy, Eucanian therapy. It is an intervention.
Mm.
And you think that it's a problem, so you intervene with your technique or idea, or more with your person.
Mm.
There are times when I've just, I don't remember. It also must be 10 years. Uh, I have just walked with a young man for
Mhm.
5 days. We have just done the walking. As we walk, we talk. As we walk, we see. As we walk, we probably laugh, point to people. So this is, do you call this therapy? I would say we were just playing fun. So
I would,
any
yeah,
therapy which
yes.
is not fun
Mm.
can't be therapy.
I agree. I would like to take this opportunity to share a photograph. And as I share, I would also like to tell this to you, Ram, that I think unknowingly, I also tried something like this in 2015. So I was working with a group of children, and one of those children were, yeah, this is
Book.
the book. We are going to come to the book
Yeah.
later, but
Later.
let me just share my screen and let me show you the photograph over here. Uh, that's the photograph, and that is Parasuram sir with his mask on, and the little boy with his mask on. Can you take us back to this moment, sir? What had happened then?
Yeah. Right. This is a very, very, he is now probably 16 or 17. He lives in Hyderabad. There is an organization called Our Better World.
Mhm,
Our Better World, I think it's a Singapore based organization.
mhm.
And they promote good stories,
Okay.
good social interventions. And they pitched me in and asked me to probably compete with some 10 different people. And I pitched in, and they said, yes, yours is the best story. So they gave me some money and award and all that. And more than that, they made a film on my work. And this guy, Aditya, he used to visit me with his parents. Sometimes comes alone. He comes and plays with me. He never used to like the mask, but I made him do a mask with foam. He made the mask.
Okay.
He loved the idea of painting the mask with colors and cutting it with a scissor and all that. And he made one. He made one for me, and we started playing.
Mm.
That is an awesome moment. He loves, uh, thereafter his total attitude towards me has changed. He took me, he took to me as easily as a fish to water.
All
Whenever
right.
I go to his house, just
Mm.
casually if I go, not for any therapy, he'll go and make sandwiches for me and he will bring it.
All right.
I
Um,
don't think even my nephews or nieces have done that.
All right. No, I was telling you about what I had tried, and I tried this because there was one boy in that little group that I was working with in
Mm,
2015 with Asperger's
mm.
syndrome,
Right.
and the mother just wanted him to join a drama class. So I
Mm,
took this opportunity to ask her that is there anything that you would like to share about your child before making him join. Then she disclosed that he has this syndrome. So I was a little scared before to take him on into a group of 6 children. And but this boy gelled in so well just because I let him be. I did not tell
right.
him that do this or do that. He was just there. And one day, we did do the makeup thing. I would like to show you a 6-year-old photograph, and to all our
Yeah.
audience members, what I had
Yeah.
done um,
Mm,
with another co-teacher of mine.
yeah.
And this is the photograph. It'll just come on the screen in a minute. So if you can, yeah. So this is the photograph, and you will not be able to tell, I'm sure, who that little child is. So we all tried just using normal, face paint,
Yeah.
uh, and
Yeah.
and putting it on to each other. And
Yeah.
my makeup was done by him, by the way. So that's
Right.
me. This is me 5 years ago,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
the child did my makeup. So
Thanks, Vaishali. Now that you mentioned Asperger's syndrome and
mm,
this, I
mm,
want to conclude this talk with a very important statement.
sure.
There is a lot of stories going about high functioning autism, low
Mm,
functioning autism. There is no high functioning, there is no low functioning. Every child has an intelligence.
mm,
When that is tapped, that
mm,
child shows that intelligence. For instance, I'm very bad with anything that is motorized. I can
mm.
drive a car, but when my car stops, I cannot repair. I
Okay.
cannot find out why. And similarly, there are these children who are exceptionally intelligent with the music.
Mm,
They are non-verbal, but
mm.
they can sing. And look at Pranav, and
Yes.
Pranav we met, I think, 5, 6 years ago. We said, you are the most handsome guy. You have to be a model. We tried many people in that, but they all said, no, people with autism cannot be model. But today he is a very successful model. You see him with ads, brute, and things like that.
Yes. Yes.
And
Yeah.
you don't have to worry about. Some people are very linguistically intelligent,
Hmm.
right? And they write poetry, they write plays. We know all about them.
Mm.
There are some people who are non-verbal, but the excellent carpenters. There are some people who are non-verbal who love the dogs, cows, and animals. I know one young man, Arkora in Mumbai.
Mhm.
He calls me anytime in the world, anytime, anywhere. The first question he asked me, Ram, did you milk the cow today? Did you bat the cow today?
Mm.
That kind of is a buffalo warrior.
Mm.
He has problems. But if you keep talking to him about animals, and if you keep talking to him about elephants, and in this book, we have also an article about animal assisted therapy, how people with autism can really benefit with. And so there is no high functioning, there is no low functioning. I'm
Okay.
good talking, I'm good writing, but I'm very bad with machines. I'm
Ah.
very bad with sometimes human beings. I'm very bad. People don't uh, appreciate that, right? So every child has an intelligence. The therapist, mother, parents' job is to find that intelligence and promote that intelligence, nurture that intelligence, and help him to grow. Thank you. I think we will stop the
Uh,
talk.
Ram, Ram, quickly,
Yeah.
we'll have
Uh,
to talk about your book. If we can have the book cover on the screen. If you could just quickly, before we close, we still have 5 more minutes to go. So if you could just tell us a little bit about the book. Yes, that's the cover, and Parasuram sir is holding it in his hand as well.
yeah. This book was conceived exactly 10 months ago, June 2020. I think
Right.
someone somewhere, I think in Amity University or somebody,
Mm-hmm.
they asked me to talk about creative arts and disabilities. I started doing research and exploring, and I began to recall the Surdas bhajans and all that. I began to recall how the blind people were seers in many mythologies.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was the start. And I did 1 second. I'll just switch on the lights.
Yes, I think in your village, I can also hear the peacock, I guess.
Yeah.
So Ram is joining us from this little village, I think on the way to Mysore, not close to Mysore.
Yeah. But 30 kilometers from Mysore.
Okay.
30 kilometers. Bangalore Mysore highway, there is a
Okay.
deviation. The road less traveled by. So that's where I am.
And you have to be there. Absolutely. Yes.
Yeah. Now I think you can see me better
Yes, I
with
can
the
see you
lights.
better. All our audience members can also see you better now. But yes, a little bit more about your book, Ram. What can people
Yeah.
find there?
Now,
Hmm.
The book is a collection of research articles and articles about how to use music, art, drama at home, in the classroom setting, or in a therapy setting. How you can yourself be a therapist. Learning this. So there are 19 articles, I think, 19 articles, and there are 10 profiles we have chosen to include. Of the 10 profiles, Pranav Bakshi is one, Arko Roy, the cow buffalo warrior, is one, Varun Savant, the marathon runner, is one. And we are also talking about two institutions.
Okay.
One is Arpan, the cafe opposite to SNDT Women's University, where the cafe is run by people with disability. And another institution that we are talking about, you must be familiar, Amaze at Coimbatore, where people are grooming themselves to their intelligence. And I have a friend who loves cats and dogs. She's from Georgia. And I was surprised. Once we were performing, the dog was sitting like a mighty prince and enjoying the show, not disturbing the performance at all. That put me into thinking how this relationship between the person and the animal works. So there are 10 profiles like that. Who else? Sam Marcus, a very interesting young man. He's a marvelous singer. Today he is running a school of music for differently abled people in Hyderabad. But when we met some 10, 12 years ago, he could sing, he can play the piano, but he can never connect with an audience, never connect with the people. We made him sing in Trivandrum Beach Road, on the road. We brought him. Now, this is how drama helps. You can be a marvelous singer, but if you are not connected with your audience, you will be singing only to yourself. So there are 10 profiles like that in the book. And I wish parents, centers, therapists have a look at it and buy. It is available now in Amazon.
Yes, we have the link up there. We have the link up.
Flipkart. So you can buy anytime. Now,
I think anybody who is aware of a child with autism around him must pick this book up and read about it. It's very important to generate awareness about autism, and that's what this book also does, along with giving us
very
the knowledge.
Interesting article in that book.
Yes.
A blind people doing photography.
Wow.
Blind people doing photography.
Okay.
Blind people doing painting. I hear the sound and I paint. Can you imagine? Now, I can imagine in this village. I hear the sound and I paint.
Right. Thank you so much, Ram. If you're there with us, yeah, you're there with us.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
thank
yeah.
you so much. Yes, thank you so much for this conversation. And thank you for sharing your stories and some of whatever you said. Uh, would definitely change the way we look at autism or spectrum disorders now on. And I would really, really want everybody who's watching us right now to spread this awareness. The entire month of April is Autism
Yeah.
Awareness Month. So please do share this video. This will be up on YouTube in a few minutes as a recording. Please share this video. And also, if you've liked the content that we have been doing since 1 year now, we are on episode number 47 because we missed out on some episodes in the past few
Yeah.
weeks. But please do subscribe to our channel. And please keep coming and watching these conversations because these happen almost every week, every weekend. Thank you, Ram, for joining us today.
Thank
And
you. Thank you, Vaishali. Have a
wish you,
great evening.
wish you a great
Thank you.
evening too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.